Today, we're going to talk about Time Slip.
Broadcast by ATV between 1970 and 1971, Time Slip ran for only 26 episodes. On paper, it was a children's adventure serial, but in practice it was far more ambitious than that. It followed two teenagers, Simon Randall and Liz Skinner, who stumble upon a strange time barrier near an abandoned wartime naval base. Crossing it, they find themselves travelling not just into the past, but into troubling visions of the future. What made the show stand out was its refusal to talk down to its young audience. Instead of simple escapism, it raised unsettling questions about science, morality, and identity. In one storyline, The Time of the Icebox, Simon and Liz discover a future research station obsessed with cloning and genetic manipulation, topics that were years ahead of mainstream debate. Another story, The Year of the Burn-Up, imagines ecological disaster, with Britain turned into a tropical wasteland by human interference with nature. These were daring themes for a tea time programme. The characters gave the series real depth. Simon, played by Spencer Banks, was analytical and fascinated by science. Liz, played by Cheryl Burfield, was more intuitive and emotional. Their contrasting perspectives mirrored the wider cultural debate between technological optimism and human caution. Adult actors like John Barron, often cast in different roles across past and future settings, reinforced the show's fascination with history repeating itself. The production values were limited. Much was filmed in studio with minimal sets and effects, but those very limitations created an eerie, stage-like atmosphere. The time barrier itself was simple but strangely haunting. What the show lacked in spectacle, it made up for in mood and ideas. Despite its creativity, Time Slip never became a long-running success. It lacked the merchandising power and broad appeal of Doctor Who, and once its single series ended, it faded from popular memory. Yet what survives reveals a thoughtful, often unsettling drama that dared to challenge its viewers. Half a century later, Time Slip deserves to be remembered not only as a piece of children's television, but as one of British TV's most intriguing experiments, an intelligent, haunting exploration of time, science, and human responsibility. So thanks very much for listening and watching. I suppose you have to do both together. I will be back soon with another TV show to talk about for 5 minutes for no particular reason. I just like doing it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, etc. Bye!